Every morning across North America, millions of families gather around kitchen tables to eat a breakfast tradition that has remained virtually unchanged for over a century. A hot plate, a cup of coffee, and 2 or 3 sizzled savory links. We buy these brands because the packaging displays farmhouses, rustic wooden boards, and bold promises of farm-fresh heritage. We assume that sausage is simply minced pork, salt, and spices. But inside the modern grocery store, that simple expectation has quietly dissolved. Behind the golden brown imagery lies a complex industrial machinery of cost-cutting measures, heavy sodium loads, hyper-processed fillers, undisclosed mechanical processing, and obscure chemical preservatives that most consumers walk past every single day. Some of the most trusted household names in the breakfast aisle are actually selling products stripped of real meat integrity, relying instead on flavor enhancers to trick your palate. Meanwhile, a small group of quiet producers is doing the exact opposite, raising the standard for total transparency. In this investigation, we analyze the market performance ingredient panels, manufacturing disclosures, and corporate restructuring of the most prominent breakfast sausage brands in the country. We uncovered why a legacy brand quietly altered its meat sourcing without updating its front-facing aesthetic, which popular links rely on synthetic nitrates, hidden behind natural-sounding aliases, and how one mass-market giant relies on mechanically separated poultry to pad its margins. We will break down the 8 worst breakfast sausage choices currently on supermarket shelves based on ingredient quality, filler ratio, processing methods, and label transparency. Then we will reveal 3 superior choices that actually deliver pure, uncompromised ingredients. We begin our countdown at number 8 with Jimmy Dean Premium Pork Sausage. The story of Jimmy Dean begins in 1969 with a country music star who decided to turn his grandfather's traditional butchering recipe into a national empire. For decades, the brand built an ironclad identity rooted in American blue-collar authenticity, rural heritage, and wholesome farm country breakfasts. Today, millions of households purchase Jimmy Dean without a second thought. It dominates the breakfast meat sector because it represents comforting nostalgia. The iconic bright yellow packaging creates an instant psychological bridge to classic home cooking. When consumers grab a roll or a box of Jimmy Dean, they expect classic ground pork seasoned with natural herbs and salt, prepared just like the country star made it back in Texas. The reality on the ingredient panel reveals a modern corporate reality. After the brand was acquired by massive conglomerate Tyson Foods, production scaled to industrial levels. The traditional pork blend now incorporates synthetic antioxidants like BHT and BHA, alongside propyl gallate. These chemical preservatives prevent fat degradation during frozen transit, but independent research has consistently raised long-term health concerns regarding their frequent consumption. Furthermore, heavy reliance on monosodium glutamate disguises a lower baseline meat flavor profile. A single small serving delivers nearly a quarter of your recommended daily intake of sodium, combined with added corn syrup solids to force artificial browning during pan frying. The founder sold a recipe. The corporation sold a shelf life. If you think synthetic antioxidants in premium pork are concerning, wait until you see how the next brand completely redefines what meat actually means. Number 7 brings us to Banner Grade Breakfast Sausage. Banner Grade emerged as a regional staple designed to serve price-sensitive markets. It positioned itself as the hard-working family economical answer to expensive morning protein. Budget-conscious shoppers routinely select Banner Grade because the price per pound looks drastically lower than surrounding competitors. In an inflationary economy, that lower price tag drives high-volume sales. Buyers assume they are purchasing standard ground sausage meat at a discounted rate due to bulk regional distribution. The investigation into the label reveals why the cost is so low. Banner Grade reduces meat content by introducing heavy soy protein concentrates and water as primary volume fillers. More critically, the pork content is supplemented with mechanically separated poultry. This high-pressure paste processing strips remaining tissue from bones, yielding a paste-like slurry that is reshaped into sausage casing. The resulting product is heavily laden with sodium tripolyphosphate to retain artificial water weight. So the roll appears thick in the package. When placed in a pan, the water weight evaporates rapidly, leaving behind a shrunken link high in sodium and low in actual biological protein quality. The price tag was reduced. The substance was replaced, while Banner Grade Uses soy to cut costs, our number 6 brand relies on a far more deceptive marketing tactic disguised as a health alternative. Number 6 is Banquet Brown and Serve Maple Sausage. Banquet built its empire during the post-war convenience boom of the 1950s. They pioneered flash-frozen pre-cooked meals that allowed busy American families to prepare breakfast in under 5 minutes. Busy Parents by Banquet Brown and Serve because it eliminates morning preparation time. The promise of heat and eat maple flavor offers a warm, sweet breakfast that children readily consume. Consumers believe they are buying real pork links naturally sweetened with maple syrup for a balanced, savory, and sweet morning meal. The reality behind the brown and serve process is a heavy reliance on ultra-processing. The primary meat ingredient in many of their line items relies on mechanically separated turkey blended with pork fat. Instead of pure maple syrup, the sweetness is derived from high fructose corn syrup paired with artificial maple flavoring and caramel color. To keep the pre-cooked meat stable at frozen temperatures, the links are laden with artificial phosphates and high sodium concentrations. Pre-cooking meat at high industrial temperatures before freezing creates advanced glycation end products, which research links to systemic inflammation when consumed regularly. The convenience was real. The maple was an illusion. Yet artificial sweetening is only one way manufacturers manipulate perception. Number 5 takes a heritage country brand and reveals what happens when corporate consolidation takes over. Number 5 is Bob Evans Farmhouse Recipe Sausage. Bob Evans began as a small diner in Rio Grande, Ohio, where a real farmer made high-quality sausage for local truckers. The brand grew into a massive restaurant chain and grocery retail power built entirely on the reputation of down-home rustic quality. Consumers select Bob Evans because the brand imagery still evokes images of red barns, traditional farming, and honest Midwestern agriculture. Shoppers expect whole hog pork sausage made with simple seasonings and traditional butchering standards. Following multiple corporate acquisitions and the separation of the restaurant chain from the food processing division, the manufacturing formula shifted. The retail sausage rolls and links now incorporate sodium diastates, sodium lactate, and monosodium glutamate to extend distribution shelf life across national supply chains. While the packaging emphasizes classic farm recipes, the industrial reality relies on heavy chemical preservation to maintain product stability over long transit times. The simple farm-style formulation was gradually augmented with industrial additives to maximize central production efficiency. The farm stayed in the logo. The process moved to the factory. If legacy farm brands have adapted to modern chemical preservation, the next brand shows how the frozen aisle handles mass distribution at the lowest possible cost. Number 4 is Great Value Original Pork Sausage, is Walmart primary private label brand. Great Value was engineered to capture market share by offering everyday essentials at prices national brands cannot match. Millions of shoppers buy Great Value because it offers maximum volume for minimum expense, serving as a critical staple for budget-constrained households. Consumers assume that store-brand sausage is simply name-brand pork packaged in a simplified box, offering identical quality without the marketing markup. The ingredient inspection shows that cost reductions are achieved through aggressive ingredient engineering. Great Value sausage patties utilize heavy doses of BHT-BHA and propylgalate to ensure extended freezer life. The sodium content is among the highest in the retail category per gram of protein. Furthermore, the meat blend utilizes high-fat trim ratios, resulting in significant shrinkage and rendering of grease during preparation, which lowers the actual nutritional yield per patty. You end up paying for rendered fat that drains into the pan rather than bioavailable protein on your plate. The savings were immediate. The substance was diluted. Now we enter the top 3 worst offenders, where the line between natural meat and synthetic chemistry gets dangerously thin. Number 3 is Armour Eckrich Breakfast Sausage. Armour is one of the oldest names in American meatpacking, tracing its roots back to the 1800s in Chicago. It helped build the modern meat processing industry in the United States. Shoppers select Armour because the name carries over a century of industrial heritage and brand familiarity passed down through generations. Consumers believe they are purchasing classic butchered sausage links crafted with traditional processing standards. In reality, Armour Eckrich links rely heavily on mechanically separated chicken as a primary meat source blended with pork fat and water. To maintain an appealing pink coloration and suppress bacterial growth in high, moisture-processed poultry slurry, the product utilizes sodium nitrite. When exposed to high frying temperatures, nitrites can form nitrosamines, compounds that medical research has consistently linked to cardiovascular and gastrointestinal risks when consumed regularly over long periods. High heat frying accelerates chemical reactions in nitrite-cured poultry paste, transforming a quick breakfast into a heavy chemical exposure. The history was rich. The recipe was degraded. If high-heat chemical reactions in processed poultry are troubling, number 2 takes artificial additions to an even higher level. Number 2 is Owens Country Sausage. Owens was founded in Texas in 1928 and built a powerful regional identity around authentic, Southern-style country, sausage seasoned with sage and red pepper. Southern consumers purchase Owens out of deep-seated regional loyalty, believing it retains its historic, bold countryside flavor profile. Buyers expect authentic ground pork sausage seasoned purely with natural herbs and spices. Under modern corporate parentage, the Southern recipe has been supplemented with an array of industrial enhancers. The signature bold flavor is heavily reliant on monosodium glutamate, rather than aged spice blends. To keep the fat content from going rancid on long logistics routes, the roll is packed with BHA and propylgalate. The sodium density is exceptional, designed to overpower the palate and mask the lower quality of the base meat blend. The formulation prioritizes long-distance shelf stability over clean culinary tradition. The Southern heritage remained, the clean ingredients did not. And now we reach the number 1 worst breakfast sausage brand on our list. A product that mastered the art of masking, low-grade industrial processing behind hyper-convenient packaging. Number 1 is Fast Bites breakfast sausage. Fast Bites dominates discount dollar stores, convenience chains, and gas station freezer cases across the nation. It is designed for maximum accessibility and instant consumption. Millions of on-the-go consumers purchase Fast Bites because it offers a hot meat breakfast for a fraction of the cost of a drive-through restaurant. Consumers assume they are getting a standard, seasoned pork patty suitable for a quick morning energy boost. The reality of Fast Bites represents the extreme end of ultra-processed food engineering. The patty is not whole ground meat but an engineered blend of soy protein concentrate, water mechanically, separated poultry, and small amounts of pork. The list of additives includes sodium tripolyphosphate, caramel coloring, artificial flavorings, BHA, and chemical preservatives. The structural integrity of the patty is maintained using industrial binders rather than natural meat-protein cohesion. You are not buying a butcher sausage. You're buying a highly engineered matrix of soy fillers, poultry paste, and chemical preservatives formulated to simulate the texture of meat. It looked like sausage. It was chemical architecture. Now that we have exposed the worst offenders in the breakfast aisle, the question becomes, what should you actually put on your plate? There is a growing movement of producers refusing to compromise on meat quality sourcing and processing. Here are the top 3 breakfast sausage choices that deliver total transparency, clean ingredients, and uncompromised flavor. Starting our best choices at number 3 is Applegate Humanely Raised Natural Pork Sausage. Applegate transformed the packaged meat industry by committing to third-party verified animal welfare standards and total ingredient transparency. Applegate eliminates synthetic nitrites, nitrates, BHA, BHT, and artificial fillers entirely. Their sausage contains real ground pork raised without antibiotics or growth hormones, seasoned with genuine herbs like sage, thyme, and black pepper. They rely on simple sea salt, rather than heavy chemical phosphates to maintain natural moisture. Applegate is widely accessible in almost every major grocery chain nationwide, making it an effortless upgrade for any family seeking to remove synthetic chemical preservatives from their morning routine. Our number 2 choice is Jones Dairy Farm All-Natural Pork Sausage. Jones Dairy Farm has been operating out of Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin for over 6 generations. Unlike brands that sold out their recipes to industrial conglomerates, Jones Dairy Farm remains family-owned and committed to their original 1889 recipe. The ingredient list on their all-natural line contains only 4 items: pork, water, salt, and natural spices. There are 0 sugar additives, 0 MSG, 0 chemical preservatives, and 0 gluten or soy fillers. They use premium cuts of real pork, resulting in natural flavor and superior protein density. Their commitment to clean manufacturing is validated by rigorous allergen testing and full supply chain transparency available in the freezer section of most mainstream supermarkets. And the number one best breakfast sausage choice available today is Mulberry Lane Farms pasture-raised pork sausage. Mulberry Lane Farms represents the gold standard of regenerative agriculture and clean food production. They operate with absolute transparency, raising heritage breed pigs on open pastures without antibiotics, synthetic hormones, or soy-based feed blends. Their breakfast sausage contains 100% pasture-raised pork combined exclusively with organic spices and sea salt. Because the animals live outdoors on natural pasture, the meat naturally contains higher levels of healthy omega-3 fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins compared to factory-farmed alternatives. There are no preservatives, no hidden nitrates, no water fillers, and no natural flavor abstractions. While Mulberry Lane Farms is primarily available through direct-to-consumer farm shipping specialty markets and select organic retailers, it offers unmatched quality, pure transparency, and complete peace of mind for your family. When you shop for your family, remember that food marketing is designed to highlight heritage while quietly hiding industrial alterations. The most powerful tool you possess is the ability to turn the package over and read the ingredient panel. Look for simple, recognizable ingredients. Reject synthetic preservatives like BHT, BHA, and sodium nitrite. Avoid soy protein fillers and mechanically separated poultry paste. Take control of what enters your home by choosing transparency over low-cost chemical convenience. If this investigation helped you make better choices for your kitchen, share this video with someone you care about and examine the labels in your refrigerator today.